Hey, in previous video we were talking about open positions based on the 1, 2, 3 formation, but open position in the right moment is just a half of the success. Transaction could be called as succeeded only when it closed in the proper moment. So in that video we will extend functionality of our 1, 2, 3 strategy with the position closing. We will create a trailing stop loss based on the market volatility, and I know it could sound really complicated, but it really don't. And also we will create our target levels of our transactions. So let's get into it. First of all, let's create a stop loss based on the volatility of market. In that approach, and value of stop loss margin is equals to ATR indicator value times some multiplier. An ATR indicator or average to range is, in my words, it's not like proper definition, is average height of the bar and like distance between the low and high price. In strategies folder, let's create a new file that we will name utilities.py, and in that file we will create our functions that will be used by different strategies, and for example function of our stop loss calculation. Let's make some imports and our function. It will need a data frame for calculations. Also it will need a value of multiplier by which we will multiply our ATR value. And also period of ATR. Which is by default will be equals to 20. First of all, let's calculate our ATR. For that we will use an pandas technical analysis lib. That library has a very lot of different technical analysis indicator. Let's pass on the ATR function the parameters. And length of that will be our ATR period. And in such way we will have our ATR, but in fact it's like series of the ATRs, and we just need to have the last one of them. So after that let's write just elots from -1, so the last element of the series. And our function will return ATR multiplied by multiplier. In that way we are calculating stop loss margin. Maybe let's name it not just stop loss but stop loss margin. And let's open now our strategy we have created in the previous video. I propose to write in next function an function that we will name check stop loss. It will probably need data frame, and let's create that function here. First of all, that function will work only if we have our position opened. So let's provide new variable. Return from that function if we have no open position in that moment. And let's change the value of our variable position opened to true after the opening position. Let's add it here. Here we will also need to know our maximum wallet that ever been during the transaction, from which we will subtract our margin. So let's say so. Hope things I'm writing here is kind of understandable. Let initialize that max price variable. Now let's calculate stop loss. Stop loss value will be our max value, max price, minus that margin we are calculating based on ATR. So maybe let's import our function utilities import ATR stop loss margin. So let's subtract from the max price that margin. Let's say multiplier will be 2 and at ATR period will stay 20. So our stop loss is calculated, and let's check if our price is not going below the stop loss. So current price will be something like that. Close. If our price is below the stop loss, let's close the position. Yes, and also let's zero our max price here. And also let's say that our position is not opened. That's its mistake, it should be false by default, yes. I found a couple of bugs here. First of all, it's obvious that the current max price should be bigger than max price to make max price our current max price. And also we will we need to add to close the position we are closing, because the Greg trader have a list of the open positions, so we need to add that position from the list. And also we don't need an position opened variable, because we have that list, and we just check if our list with open positions is not empty. We have no open position now, we are just returning and waiting for position will be opened. Yes. So now I think it should work. Let's try it. Nice, it works now. Maybe I will add here our ATR indicator, and after that we will analyze the graph. Okay, let's see. We have our ATR at the bottom, and such strategies working when we have some long trends, long movements. In that case, our stop loss just going below that movement. How we can see in that case, for example, we have big movement from maximums. I think here's maximum. We can subtract 2 ATRs. 3.75, it's value for ATR now, so two of them is like it will be 7.5. So maximum here 3,819 minus 7.5. It will be 3,811.5. In the lowest point we have 12, very close to stop loss, but still above it. Stop loss going just below the our movement, and works just here when we have from that such big stop loss. But such strategies totally not working when we have small movements in different directions without any strong trends. So for example here we can see that after 1, 2, 3 formation price goes in our side, but after that it returns and goes back, and finally we are ending with the loss. So what to do in such cases? The solution for that is to use predefined targets. So for example we can add target here to close transaction if price will be in that place. So let's create the target levels. In fact, we just add the take profit value when we are open our position, and it will be literally all. So it will be our current price plus some value, and that value will be also based on the average true range indicator. I have calculated ATR earlier in that place for the purpose of showing it on the plot. So now we just add here 2 times ATR. I think it will be a good target for our transactions. So take profit is equals take profit, and yes, we still have our stop loss for the case our transaction will go wrong direction, and let's see what will be. Okay, I changed that value to 1 ATR. So for the target of 1 ATR we have a really better ratio of succeeded to unsucceeded transactions, but also we have very lower profits when transaction is succeeded. So it's something for something. Let's say for example here we have some successful transaction, and we are taking that profit at almost like at top. If it will be some target, I think in that place we will have a big loss. Maybe not big, but loss. There's also will be loss without the target. But there is places like that one that could be really profitable. You can see how much we can take here if we wasn't closed the transaction before. Every approach has own pros and cons. You will decide which one to choose, and you also can choose both of them, playing them in parallel. So guys, for today it's all. Like and subscribe the video, and see you!